Hey everyone, and welcome. Let's jump right into today's explainer. We are unpacking an incredibly fascinating concept today, a real blueprint for breaking free from that exhausting, traditional marketing grind we all know too well. We're looking at the Sovereign Architect Blueprint. It's this amazing framework that blends some pretty mind-bending sci-fi concepts with highly practical digital strategies, all to teach us how to build deeply resilient, sustainable communities.
So I want to start off by asking you a pretty powerful question. Are you actively building a sovereign community, or are you just feeding your energy into the endless, exhausting Moloch net? Now, in the source material we're looking at, the Moloch net represents our modern, chaotic digital landscape. It's basically a machine that demands constant hustle from you, relies on these really linear marketing funnels, and just feeds off your attention. It is a system that we absolutely need to escape.
And the way we actually escape it is through our core thesis today, which is digital gravity. So instead of relying on those high-friction marketing campaigns where you're constantly pushing and pushing for episodic attention, you build mass. You're creating a persistent inbound funnel. You do this through repeated brand interactions, literally placing your assets like content, tools, and community right where your customers already spend their time. It's all about leveraging creator-led growth, which can actually trigger these viral cascades. You see, you aren't just doing more things. You are organizing the gravity to passively pull customers into your orbit, so the system is working for you even while you sleep.
That brings us to Section 1, the paradigm shift. Let's look at how we actually maneuver through and eventually escape these traditional systems. Interestingly, the source material uses this wild, fictional cyberpunk lore to make a really profound point about attention and control. It details this entirely fictional history of weaponized AI. It starts with early wave-reading prototypes in World War II, moves to primitive voice-to-skull tech in Vietnam, and culminates in a fictional MolochNet operation managed by a rogue CIA agent and a corrupt vice president, Ronald Dump. Now, taking this impartially, this crazy narrative actually serves as a vivid metaphor for modern digital platforms. The point the author is making is that these platforms are deeply ingrained systems, literally designed to hijack your ego and exhaust your resources. So knowing that, how do we fight back in the real business world? Well, early-stage startups often have to rely on transactional marketing, right? Paid ads and cold outreach for immediate revenue. But thanks to what's known as the law of shitty click-throughs, acquisition costs inevitably skyrocket over time. You have to balance that short-term push with a long-term investment in your brand's digital mass. And honestly, despite all the noise of new social media platforms, the source makes one thing absolutely clear. Email is still king. Building an owned media list through cold outreach, nurture sequences, and newsletters, that is your ultimate defense against unpredictable algorithmic noise. Moving into Section 2, AI systems for repurposing. Let's talk about the content flywheel.
This brings us to a really core philosophy. You grow what you sow. What you sow, you grow. As Cody highlights in the discussion, this means adopting a pillar content strategy. You record one really high-quality piece of long-form content, say a weekly podcast, and then you integrate AI systems like Swell AI directly into your workflow to repurpose it. You slice that single pillar into infinite newsletters, blogs, and social clips. It's not just a hack. It's an automated system that allows you to maintain massive, high-volume output across all channels without burning out your extremely limited mental bandwidth.
All right, Section 3, Managing the Attention Market. This is where we start trading human relations.
When your audience finally does arrive, you have to remember this absolutely crucial rule. Never provide liquidity when the price or behavior is overextended. Now, this is actually a powerful financial trading rule, but applied directly to human relations and community building. When audience demands spike unreasonably, or when you're facing one of those chaotic troll meltdowns online, you have to instantly cut off your supply. Don't feed the chaos. In this market, your attention is your liquidity. To put that into practice, we have the negotiation matrix. It's brilliant. When demand for your attention is exploding, say in the denial stage of a conflict, your strategy is to starve the inducement. You validate neutrally, but you do not perform for them. If things shift to massive aggression or anger, you run a liquidity sweep defense. You reduce your audience size, use very short sentences, and absolutely do not argue. And what if they suddenly pivot to supplying manipulation or fake niceness in the bargaining phase? You set hard, boring boundaries. This is exactly how founders maintain absolute control over their community's energy.
Which leads perfectly into Section 4, Lazy Founder Growth Hacks. Let's rapid fire through some hyper-tactical, low-friction strategies, especially for indie founders who are deep in the code.
Step 1, create a set and forget YouTube archive. You want to optimize for AI SEO here by answering specific bottom-of-funnel questions like X versus Y, because that's how AI answer engines index info. Step 2, passively drop low-file lore in Discord. Step 3, share hidden treasure PDFs. Step 4, focus on data-driven iteration. Clip those AI micro-shorts, post frequently, look at the metrics, and double down on the hits rather than just guessing. And finally, Step 5, log your progress publicly. As Jordan points out, once you manually master a workflow, build your internal dashboards using tools like NN or Lovable and share that sausage-making process, it builds massive trust.
The source material uses another fantastic metaphor here, a prequel game concept called Material Arts. In the lore, this underground club discards state mandates, builds cognitive sovereignty, and literally jams government frequencies through raw adrenaline. But what does that mean metaphorically for your brand? It means building a hyper-resilient, fiercely loyal community that acts as a biological shield against external noise. Your community literally becomes your armor.
And that brings us to our final core concept in Section 5, Earth as a survival island.
To get people to stay in your community, the source breaks down the tempt pillars. It's fascinating because this perfectly mirrors a classic ADA marketing funnel. You capture their attention with curiosity, like weird lore or shorts. Then you build interest through the eternal pillar, giving them meaningful treasures and philosophy. You create desire and a sense of belonging through the tribe and master pillars, offering internal confidence. And finally, you drive action by providing truth, helping them update outdated programming. You aren't just doing marketing, you are giving them deep emotional reasons to stay and build with you.
It all culminates in this grand sci-fi vision from the text. We are building the Metal Sun. It connects all of your tactical software development and daily grinds to one really powerful realization. You were never meant to survive alone. The Earth is framed as a survival island, and while we've managed to survive individually, it's time to actually thrive through collective sovereignty. You're giving your fans a cozy future to look forward to, making your community totally unforgettable.
But think about this. The automated workflows, the AI repurposing, the digital gravity models, that is all 99% logic. But finding that missing 1%, that dedicated sovereign human element, that is what makes this entire model truly operational. You can build the absolute perfect digital machine, but you need the right tribe to give it a heartbeat.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to chew on. Do you have a circle that actually empowers you, or are you still storing up legacy data in a system that ultimately wants you to fail? It's time to stop feeding the machine, escape the noise, organize your gravity, and go architect your own sovereign system. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.